Good evening, I'm John, and tonight on John News we go inside the real engine of American power, beyond campaign speeches and political slogans, to uncover how decisions are truly made in the United States government, and why policies that affect your job, your health, your freedom, and your future often seem disconnected from the will of the people. Washington, D.C. is the command center of the world's most influential nation, yet it is also a maze of hidden forces where power rarely lives where the cameras point. Americans are told that elections decide the direction of the country, but what they are not told is how much of that direction is already locked in long before a single vote is cast. Every new president inherits a federal system built on decades of regulations, international agreements, military commitments, economic dependencies, and institutional traditions that resist sudden change. And when candidates promise to transform America, they are entering a machine designed not to move quickly, but to protect itself. At the top of this machine stands the White House, a symbol of leadership, but also a constraint on it because behind every presidential speech are thousands of civil servants, career officials, and agency lawyers who shape what is legally possible. Federal departments like Defense, Treasury, Homeland Security, and Health and Human Services operate with enormous authority, often writing the rules that affect millions of Americans, while rarely appearing in the headlines. And these agencies are not temporary. They remain regardless of which party controls the presidency, meaning real power is spread across unelected hands. Then there is Congress, a divided institution whose televised arguments hide the real negotiations happening behind closed committee doors. Most laws are not written on the House floor, but in backrooms by legal experts, lobbyists, and special interest groups who translate money into influence. When pharmaceutical companies spend millions lobbying on drug pricing, or when defense contractors shape military budgets, the public sees only the final bill, not the pressure that sculpted it. Above Congress stands the Supreme Court, 9 lifetime-appointed judges whose decisions now reshape American life more directly than any legislature ruling on abortion, gun laws, voting rights, corporate regulation, and environmental protections. Their judgments are framed as constitutional interpretation, but their consequences are political, permanent, and generational, meaning one election can alter American society for decades. But to truly understand power in America, you must follow the money. Elections are fueled by billions of dollars, flowing through political action committees, dark money groups, and corporate donations that legally amplify the voices of the wealthy far beyond those of ordinary citizens. When lawmakers return to Washington, they do not return empty-handed, they carry expectations from the donors who financed their rise, and this silent contract defines which issues receive attention and which quietly die. Presidents often arrive promising change only to discover Congress will not cooperate, and when legislation stalls, they reach for executive orders, administrative rules, and emergency powers to bypass gridlock. But these tools are fragile, easily reversed by courts defunded by lawmakers, or erased by the next administration. And so American policy now swings violently every 4 years. Immigration rules shift. Climate programs appear, then disappear. Foreign treaties are signed, then abandoned, creating instability that erodes trust at home and abroad. Behind the scenes lies the national security apparatus, a vast network of intelligence agencies, defense officials, and classified operations whose decisions rarely face public scrutiny. Drone strikes, surveillance programs, cyber warfare, and covert missions are approved in secrecy, justified by the phrase national security, a shield that blocks accountability while expanding the permanent security state. The cost of this hidden power is public exhaustion. Americans are told their votes matter, yet watch their priorities collapse in procedural debates and partisan warfare. Healthcare reform becomes pilot programs, immigration reform becomes studies, climate promises become committees, and faith in democracy erodes. This is not a broken system, it is a protected one designed to balance power, but now so complex that it shields itself from the people it was meant to serve. And tonight, on John News, this is only the beginning of our investigation into how American power truly works. Good evening, I'm John, and tonight on John News, we go inside the real engine of American power, beyond campaign speeches and political slogans, to uncover how decisions are truly made in the United States government, and why policies that affect your job, your health, your freedom, and your future often seem disconnected from the will of the people. And as the lights fade over Washington tonight, one truth stands above the noise of politics: that power in America is not held by speeches or slogans, but by systems built quietly over decades, systems that shape every law, every war, every dollar, and every dream. And while the faces in office may change, the machinery behind them keeps moving forward, reminding us that democracy is not a gift delivered every 4 years. It is a responsibility that must be questioned, protected, and demanded every single day, because the future of this nation will not be decided in campaign rallies, but in the choices we make when the cameras turn off. And from John News, I am John, and this has been Power and Policy, the real story behind U.S. government decisions.